Stephanie Huffman is my guest co-host today, and we are talking about how women have such a need to talk and how we can hone in on that and channel that in a positive way. And Stephanie, in your book, When You Grow Up and Get Single, you talk about a Chix Chat Club.
I do.
And we're just kind of right in the middle of you telling us how you get one started. Because I think in concept, most women are like, yeah, I'd love to get with like-kind women and talk and share a latte or mocha or whatever it is, but what do I do? And you were kind of going through the steps of how to get it started.
Right. The first step, very briefly, was, you know, go through your Christmas card list. Who do you work with, your church? Who is in your lifeboat? I'm single. I have not yet married. I want to pick people that are in my journey. Number two, hone that list. Not everybody's going to match. Not everybody comes from the same background. Look at politics, look at upbringing, look at who is the six-figure earner, look at who is really struggling to get by. Be very careful. Once you have your list, you want to hone that list to make sure it works.
And I want to say this to that just before you go to the next thing, because a lot of times people as Christians say, but it's diversity and we're supposed to love everybody. And we are to love everybody unconditionally. Stephanie believes that, I believe that.
That's right.
What you found practically speaking, and what I found practically speaking, is that when you talk about having an inner circle of friends or people that you share your hearts with, we can love everybody unconditionally and not like their politics.
Oh my word.
And getting together to share a latte, if you're on the right and somebody who's a liberal left, could just really leave you with indigestion. And God is not expecting that from us.
It can be a very bad night.
And somebody that earns 6 digits can afford a latte, and if your other friend, you know, is cashiering at a grocery store, she might not even be able to afford one, and so it becomes awkward sometimes.
Well, and I've learned through experience. I've been at the table with both of those girls, and it is very miserable. And by the time the night is over, you don't ever want to get to coffee with those girls again.
No, because for someone like me, I'm just trying to make everybody happy, and I just feel miserable that nobody's getting along, and I've got a knot in my stomach, and then I've got to pray all the way home and thinking, God, that was not a good time. It was just not a good time, and I've just learned just don't do that anymore.
It's not the caffeine that's keeping you up when you go home. It's the stress.
It's like, oh.
So I think I'm giving, what I'm trying to say is giving you permission to be a little bit more particular and careful and strategic about who you share your heart with. And these girls, you don't need to expect them to become your best friends, and you don't need to be their best friend. And I'm going to get to that. The third thing is, when you've made your list and you've honed your list, presentation, presentation, presentation. I want to get together with you and say, hey, Monica, I've got this idea. What if we get together once a month? And then if it goes well and you're on that same page as me, I say to you, what about June? Even if she doesn't know June, we can get together for coffee with June, see how the mix goes, and at the end of the night when June leaves, you and I can say, what do you think? And then we can go to June and say, June, how would you like to join us once a month? And you go, and I would say stop at 5. 3 is great, but I wouldn't go past 5.
Okay, because it gets too big.
It gets too big, and we have a lot to say. And getting around the table can be a bit of a challenge. The fourth thing is, you want to really communicate why you're doing this. And I think it's important up front that if you're the girl who kind of started this, just be honest and say, you know, this isn't about us bearing each other's burdens to the point of we have to be best friends for life. This is, we're all in the same life journey right now. It could change next year for any of us. But for right now, why don't we meet for coffee once a month, and why don't we help each other through life's journey? Are you up for that? Some girls are going to say no, they just can't. Some girls are going to say yes. And then the next thing is, get them to commit to that. You know, you want to be sure that girls are going to want to be a part of this.
That's right.
And if they're not, give them the grace to exit.
Right, and I think for all of us to be secure enough that if we get a no, I can't do that. It's not personal.
Right.
Because it's hard, Stephanie, especially if you're already feeling isolated and you're the only one. To take this risk and to get out there and to say you want to meet once a month, but the truth is not everybody can say yes to that.
They can't. And some girls, we even, at one point, we would conference call. We'd put the phone on the table, 4 of us would be there, and the 5th one would call in. Girls do Skype now. You can even do webcam. You can be very creative. But if one of the girls in the group needs to depart and it's too much, let her go.
Right.
And if she lives too far away on the other side of town, maybe it's time for her to start a Chix Chat Club on that side of town. Let her do that. and encouragers. So prepare to grow, prepare to change, and prepare to be flexible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, flexibility is the key to everything.
It is. But we forget that.
Right. Well, I have this little saying, blessed are the flexible, they shall not break. You know, it's like you just got to be flexible, and people are going to come and go out of our lives, and we can't put all of our eggs in one basket ever, never. Not marrieds, not singles. It's not a healthy life.
It's not.
You're saying you start these little clubs, there's ways to share and to learn, but to keep a real open mind and to let people come and go as they need to.
And it may be a blessing for people to come and go. Think of it